Good afternoon and welcome to the July 31st meeting of the Rotary Club of Brentwood. I'm Jennifer Ruane. You guys always make a girl feel so good. Thank you. We'll first ask Steve Tate to come up for our inspiration.
In honor of our dignitaries, they're here today, I wrote a poem, believe it or not, and I aptly named it the Rotary Poem. I don't know why that's funny, so here we go. Before we plan, before we speak, we pause to serve the strong and the weak. With willing hands and caring hearts, each simple act becomes an art. Not for applause, nor praise, nor fame, but lives transformed, that is our aim. A helping hand, a listening ear can bring new hope and gentle cheer. Though each of us may light a flame, together brighter burns its name. For kindness shared is never small. It lifts the one and lifts us all. So may we leave this place today more ready still to lead the way. With humble hearts and purpose true, may service shine in all we do. Wow. I'll have signed copies in the lobby. There you go. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you first and foremost, Lord, for your blessings, especially your grace and your mercy. Lord, help us never, ever to take that for granted. I pray you guide and direct us in all that we do and say. And Lord, I pray that you'll bless this food we are partaking of, bless the nourish for our bodies and our bodies to your service. Amen. Amen.
We'll ask Charles to do the pledge and the four-way test, and then Norris will introduce our guests. Is Charles here? Okay. Somebody needs to volunteer to do the pledge and the four-way test. Laura's got it.
Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Now the four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, just let him know. Thanks, Don. Look at what happens when you get a bunch of DGs in the room. It's chaos. Absolute chaos.
We have a lot of guests today. Jeff Brasher brought all his rowdy friends with him today.
Wow.
So if I may, let me introduce our visiting dignitaries today as district governors. Matt Miles from Southern Indiana. District Governor Terry Push from East Kentucky. District Governor Catherine Ebach from Ohio. We were to have Chris Williams here, who is our past district governor, but he's unable to be here today. District Governor Chris Williams from, Cheryl Smith. District Governor Matt Bowie from Arkansas. And his wife, Jennifer. District Governor Stephanie Crisp from Memphis. And her husband, Dwayne. District Governor Libby Quillen from Illinois. And his wife, Alice. Past District Governor from Lafayette, Cindy Gammons. And from the Franklin Breakfast Club, Assistant District Governor Phyllis Moulineau. Welcome to all our guests.
Thank you everyone for coming. We're gonna go ahead and move to Happy Bucks. I think Mike Huff is doing Happy Bucks. Everybody give generously. I'm wanting to have a really nice membership drive in September, so.
Okay, who's happy? You want to start? No, I'll start. Okay. I'm extremely happy and grateful to be here today, and I'm very blessed to be a part of something that's very special. Rotarians doing business with Rotarians. I'm honored to have a friend in Devin McClendon, and I've known Devin a long time. He's my commercial property broker as well as my property manager. And we're celebrating starting tomorrow a new 20-year lease for my property in Brentwood. There happens to be a $20.
Well, he beat me to it. I was going to do the exact same thing, which is to say, don't forget to talk to everybody from time to time and ask them what they do. Mike and I have known each other outside of Rotary, but it's definitely a bonus to be able to do business with another Rotarian. I double that by saying I'm also trying to help out another good friend, Rod Freeman. And then all of Mike and I's stuff is being tied together with yet another Rotarian in Keeley Hall. So you have all the tools you need to get things done just within this club.
Let me say real quick, it is the building is returning to its original use. It will be an organic, natural food grocery store, farmers cooperative, and I think you're all going to enjoy it.
So Devin, it's incumbent for me to respond and say thank you. And, you know, when you do business with another Rotarian, you trust that person. And you've learned to trust that person as a result of what we do each week here at the luncheons. And so it's special, it's good, and I'm thankful for it. So thank you.
It's $20. Last week I missed the meeting. We were at the convention for Alpha Graphics, where we had all from country. So Alpha Graphics in Brentwood was one of the best center recognized in the convention. We got like 3 awards, best marketing campaign, and so very happy. And also we have a lot of DGs here, so I will have a shameless plug. We are working on a Rotary store online. Our licensing is in process.
All right, who's next?
I hated to miss last week, but I had the privilege of going with 20 others via vans. We drove to Wyoming and slept on the ground for days and days. But I came back with a t-shirt that says, Wyoming isn't real. It is just amazing that our Lord created this awesome place for us to live in. And I think even where we are right now, we need to look up and go, wow, because we live in a beautiful place. But if you ever get a chance to go to Wyoming and sleep on the ground, it's fantastic. You'd enjoy it.
Who's next?
All right, I have $10 to toss in because I think there's about 10 DGs here that have crashed your meeting. Oh, good. Terry's putting in some too. Great. I'm going to speak for all of us. All the DGs have to put a little money in because we crashed your meeting. We're here to celebrate Jeff, but I was in 6760 a while ago, so it's good to see some of my old friends from being down here when I was part of the Nashville Sunset Club. So especially Chuck, good to see you.
Thanks for this. I'm proud to represent Western Kentucky as district governor. And I just want you to know, the one thing that I hope we all know about Rotary is the fact that friendships and service projects is what really keeps us and makes us strong Rotarians. And the friendships that are in this two tables is unbelievable. For all of us district governors to be here to celebrate Jeff is quite an honor for me. But we also had a wonderful time last night
with his wife Sharon and all the hospitality that they showed. So here's my 10. And thank you, Jeff, for doing all you're doing for your district.
Thank you all. Anybody else?
Thanks, Mike. I'm only putting in $1 because I'm not a district governor. But Catherine just got up and spoke. For those of us who were involved in pets in March, you remember our club collected tons of shoes to take there for Souls for Souls. So Catherine is responsible for that program. And she collected all the shoes and coordinated it all. And that's her full-time job. And how many did we get? 10,000 shoes. So thank you, Catherine.
And I think they had only planned for a few hundred. Like they had rented, right? Like they just thought a simple U-Haul box truck would be enough. They ended up having to like bring a semi or to like go rent a semi. It was unbelievable. So we hauled all of our shoes to Chattanooga to then turn around and bring them back to Nashville. Right. Right.
Just to bring people back to reality in spite of all the abuse I perceived. It's really, really nice to be back. Thank you.
There's still room in the basket, and we have any more happy people in here today? Thank you.
Thank you. So this past week, I got to go to Park City, Utah and visit some friends. My daughter and I met some friends, and I got to go to the Park City, Utah Rotary meeting, which was on Tuesday. It was a ton of fun. They're a lot like our club. We're about the same size. We do a lot of the same work in the community. So it's always good. So to visit other clubs. So for newer members back in the day, attendance used to be required. So we visited as Rotarians, we tended to visit other clubs all the time. And one of the things we used to do, not done as much, is we would trade flags. And back in the day, we used to display these flags on these felt things. And like there would be dozens of these up for newer members. So we had a really good laugh about this because their club president, I came in and he said, look what I found in the closet. I'm like, I don't want that. Don't do that to me. So I brought us a flag that we're going to ask Larry to now store in the closet since we don't. But we also have these flags. So if you're going out of town and you want a flag that we ordered some new ones last year, Jennifer, didn't we order some new Brentwood flags? Yeah. There's plenty. Okay. Yeah. So if you're going somewhere and want to take a flag, Larry would appreciate you taking them out of our closet. Thank you very much. I also want to say what an honor it is to have all of you district governors. I'm going to speak for a lot of us in the room. I've never been to a club meeting with this many district governors in the room. I might have had a cocktail last night when Jeff told me y'all were coming. I might have had to send an email at 10:30. I might have had to get Jennifer Bourne out of bed to contact the past presidents and get 2 of my children to read the email I sent to the club to make sure it actually made sense. Remind me to not have a cocktail while bowling the night before our district governor is supposed to speak. Okay, Larry, did you want to talk about the golf tournament?
Okay, am I on? Good. Not intimidating at all talking in front of all you folks. First of all, I'm going to talk about our golf tournament. And for all you guests, this is our 10th year of having our golf tournament. We started it in 2017, and it's our primary fundraiser. We fund all of our major grants and our community grants through the golf tournament, and we also give out a bunch of scholarships to high school seniors. Last year, we raised and gave out Lennis, $135,000, I think, last year. And so we're getting ready to have this tournament in another month. So you're getting ready to hear me rant and rave a little bit to our membership about what we got to do over the next 4 weeks. Okay. So right now, guys, our tournament is the 31st of August. You know that, 30 days out, 31 days out. We're in pretty good shape right now, with one exception. We have, as of yesterday morning, I looked at our roster, we have 104 members in our club. Pretty good number. We have 49 people who have sold something for the golf tournament. So there's 54 people out there who still need some work to do over the next 4 weeks. Let's get at that. As of right now, we're at 80% of our goal of what we decided we were going to raise this year. And so here's how we're going to make up that 20% in these next 4 weeks. We have 5 major sponsors still outstanding. That all of these were sold last year, and so they're still out there. You can see them right there. Hole-in-one sponsor, premium hole sponsors, putting green, putting contest, 6 hazards, and 2 carts. That's $12,250 that we ought to sell tomorrow. I mean, these were all sold last year. They're great sponsorships. They get a lot of benefits for being a sponsor. So that's one source of income to make up that 20%. The remainder of that's going to come from hole sponsor sales. Now, you know, hole sponsors is our least expensive sponsorship, $350, right? And so if we sell 80 hole sponsors in the next 4 weeks, we'll be okay. So there's some of you out there that are going, 80 hole sponsors? My God, that's a lot of hole sponsors. Well, let me just show you what we've done in the past. In 2018, we sold 141 hole sponsors. 2019, we sold 165 sponsors. 2022, we sold 107 sponsors. Now, quick comment, and in 2024, we sold 102. So we've been over 104 times. What happened between 19 and 22 was I sophisticated, if that's a word, I sophisticated our major sponsors, and we got some bigger sponsors that replaced some of the hole sponsors. But we've done over 100 holes 4 different times. So 80 sponsors we've done 6 this year. So if we get 80 more, that's 86. So it shouldn't be a problem. If we get 80 hole sponsors and that $12,000, we're going to make our goal for this year, and we'll have another successful tournament. We have 4 weeks. I'm going to stand up here every week and talk to you about it, so get used to it. Okay? Pretty simple. Any questions about the tournament? I never asked that. It's the same. We've done the same thing basically every year, and it works every year. So I just want to make sure. This week, a couple of people I want to honor and point out, both of whom are here. John Morris took a $1,000 sponsor that he had last year, talked to him, and flipped it for $2,500. So that's awesome. And Steve Tate, my buddy Steve Tate, brought in a brand new $1,500 sponsor this past week. So that's good stuff. Now, here's a little incentive going forward in these next 4 weeks. Anybody that brings in $1,000 in new sponsorships, you can figure that's 3 hole sponsors. That's one of our majors. It's however you want to do it. I've got some prizes for you, some real nice prizes for you. So $1,000 new sponsors, you're going to get a pretty nice gift. On your table is your list of potential sponsors. For all those folks who said, I don't know who to call, look at the list on your table. Everybody's got that. Sorry. Oh. That's the list of potential sponsors that you can call. Everybody knows somebody on that list. And I encourage you to look at the one at the bottom that says your friends who have money. Hey, where's Tom Carr? Does that work? Yeah. Thank you. Tom Carr makes that work every year to a big, well, Tom's got over $10,000 this year raised so far, and most all of that is from his friends. So it works. Okay, and that list works. Does anybody need a folder that didn't get one? Maybe everybody should have one, but I just want to make sure everything you need is in this folder. Okay, that's it. Real quick, we're going to run down a list here. There it is. That's a list of all the hole sponsors that were sold last year, 2025. You can see your name there, and those are the hole sponsors that we sold. So just to remind everybody, we did this last year. We do it every year. Hole sponsors are, and you can see Mr. Tanksley's name up there multiple times. He's just now getting started. Oh, and I'll tell you this. He took one of his hole sponsors the other day and flipped him for a $500 hazard sponsor. his first sale, he called me and he said, I didn't sell a host sponsor. I sold a hazard sponsor. I said, that a boy. So anyway, get on it quick. I'm going to talk to you next week. We'll go over it again. We got 4 weeks and we're going to make our goal and we're going to have another successful tournament. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
All right, on the tables, you'll see I'm still working on committees. We've had less than 10% of our clubs sign up for committees. So I'm going to send the link out again, like I did a couple weeks ago, but I printed them out for those that might have some DAC-DB issues. So please sign up because does everyone in this room know what happens when you put more than one Rotarian in a room? We become people of action. So sign up for a committee, get together, decide what to do. Let's get some new projects on the table. Let's get some things going. So please sign up and you will be, and if you have any questions about the committees, please reach out. You can reach out to me or the director in charge that are listed on the tables. We're looking at doing a membership drive in maybe the end of September. I was thinking October, August, but I think we're going to move it back to September after the golf tournament. And Laura, you had an announcement? Yeah.
Okay, I know we were supposed to have a very convenient, exciting opportunity with food distribution tomorrow with one gen away. Unfortunately, they had to cancel, so it is not on for tomorrow. There are lots of other opportunities to serve throughout the month, but we will communicate those specifically later. Next week, after our regular meeting, we are shopping with Tennessee Baptist Children's Home for back to school. It is at 2:00. So when we leave here, we're going to go over to the Cool Springs Target and we are going to shop together with the groups of kids. I need at least 8 Rotarians, I think, to make sense of shifting responsibilities and taking care of the kids and giving them the attention that they need. It's a fun time, kind of hilarious, actually. But it's a big math project for them because they know exactly how much they get to spend and they want to really work the system. So if you're able to participate in that, you can contact me directly or meet us over there after next week's meeting. Before next week's meeting, from 11 to 11:45-ish, we are going to have a community service committee meeting. So if you are willing to help us collab on new service opportunities, there are so many that have been presented to us since we did our community grants program. Lots of them had opportunities that they wanted to share with us so that we can partner with them. And some of them help partner them with each other, which I think is fantastic. I love it when we get do-gooders in the room together to figure out some amazing ways to make our community better. But if you have ideas, they can be terrible. I think good ideas are born from bad ones. So bring me all your bad ideas and let's make some really fun service opportunities. Thanks.
I got an idea.
Oh, what's that?
We need to sell more stuff in the dog park. But what does that do? That funds the grant, right?
Absolutely. He's figured it out. Yeah.
Great idea.
Okay. So one of the things we've been doing every week is we have a little Ignite lesson every week. So everybody get out your phones. This is your opportunity to look at your phone during our meeting. Okay. Does everybody remember what the Ignite app looks like? It's a little flame there on your phone. If you're having trouble opening it, we got a whole bunch of people in the room today that can help. Whole bunch. So it's a little red flame, or it's a white flame, but it's a little red app. So if you click on that and log in, it's the same login as your DAC-DB. Again, if you're having trouble, Susie, any random Jennifer in the room can help you. A whole 2 tables. There's a lot. So for you guys, if you all don't know, our president last year was Jennifer Bourne. She's in the room. This year is me. And then next year is Jennifer Shepard. So we have 3 Jennifers in a row. So that's why we say just ask a Jennifer, at least for this. And poor Norris, I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to have to change his name. Okay. I didn't have time to set up a flash survey. So let's do this. So is everybody logged in? Does anybody have any questions about getting in? Okay. So there are 4 on mine anyways. There are 4 different pages of icons. Everybody's is probably a little different. but we're going to click on the one that says My Club today. If you do that, gosh, everything that you want to know about our club. So when you're at a meeting and you run into somebody and say, gosh, they would be a really good Rotarian. I wonder who's speaking next week. It's all right here. You can open reflections from this tab. You can, what else? You could see a survey if I put it in there. You can pull up the address of our meeting right here at the Martin Center. If you go to Easy Story, you can see district and stories that we publish from our newsletters, our website connections. So pretty much anything you want to know about our club. And I want to know something. If you press on call for the past presidents in the room, it says 615-500-6653. Does anybody know whose phone number that is? I know. I was going to call it. Does anybody in this room have any idea whose phone number that is? It's Donna? Is that you? Oh, well, okay. Everybody call Donna. Everybody press call. Okay. It's good to know. Thank you very much. All right. All right. There's our Ignite lesson for the week. Everybody better pay very close attention because we're going to have some very important questions next week on our survey from today. Okay. Everybody good with Ignite, our little Ignite lesson today? Okay. Let's turn our phones off so they don't ring, and let's put our phones away. And I'm going to ask Phyllis Molyneux to come up. She is our the assistant district governor for the Williamson County clubs. I'm just getting to know Phyllis and I'm really enjoying it. But one thing I do want to say, she sent an email to the Williamson County club presidents this week, and I'm going to read something that she wrote in that I just love. She asked all of us, and I think this is great. I'm going to put it in reflections. She asked us to be intentional with your time by showing up and being fully engaged. Be intentional with your talents by sharing our unique gifts to strengthen our club. Be intentional with your resources by supporting projects that create lasting impact. And be intentional in the way you personally welcome others to Rotary, inviting people who have a heart for service and helping every new member feel valued, included, and inspired. Thank you, Phyllis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Brentwood Noon. Happy to be here. So our speaker does not require an introduction, especially if your club has volunteered at One Gen Away. You have probably met our speaker. What you might not know is that his favorite color is red, and you'll have to ask him later why his color is red. He is an avid golfer. He is a bicycle enthusiast. And his favorite beverage is Diet, Dr. Pepper, and maybe PBR. Light, PBR light. Okay, didn't know that. But what you don't know about our speaker, and that's what I have witnessed over the last 15 years as a fellow club member for Franklin Breakfast, is that he is tenacious. He has a genuine approach to developing relationships. He leads with intention. And his heart for service is bigger than this room. So please help me to welcome our District 6760 Governor Jeff Brasher.
Y'all have noticed, I never want to be behind a lectern. I always want to walk around. I always want to tap people on the shoulder. And I'm so proud to be here today. I was going to ask Cindy, has there ever been a regular meeting where we've had 8 district governors come to a regular club meeting?
Well, at least you know how to smell.
Dick, have you, I mean, honestly, it's really incredible. And it talks about, I could go on and on, but I've got more stories I want to tell. That is at my age and my life, that's another family that we've been together now for about 3 years or so. And it's amazing what we've done, and not only what we've done, what we're still yet to do. So thank you all for being here. I could not have picked a better club in District 6760 to bring them to and to be part of in the Brentwood Noon Club. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for having us today. So I'm going to go back to January. I'm going to go back to Orlando, Florida. There's a thing called Rotary Assembly. Is that right? International Assembly. And can you believe this? They bring in every single district governor in the world and their spouses, partners. We had over, I think, 1,000 district governors at this event. And we went to a session and they had a little 2.5-minute video. And this video had impact. And it obviously did because they showed it to all of us. And I'd like to share with you all a 2.5-minute video. Whoops.
The lawyer shy guy in Chi-Town, no high cloud. Start a club with 4 guys, no cash, just hide out. By trust and friendship, fellowship and truth, turn a local lunch into a place for the good. Name's Rotary, just a seed with a mission. 1905, growing faster than tradition. 4-way test, yeah, we aim with precision. From Route 711 to a world-changing vision. Without a script, without a plan, they bet and shook each other's hands and serve above ourselves. They said, now see the banner that they right. There's a million songs who hear the call out in Polio. Stand up from Belgium, Ghana. In the ball, for the trees, revolution has touched us all. Exchange makers, peacemakers, globetrotters, green walk bringers, child health supporters, mentor the youth, no bridges, not orders, silence to givers, and frontline reporters. Eradicating polio, we take the shot. With gates, yeah, we give it all we got. In war zones, flood zones, drowning despair, Rotarians, see what? Because we can.
We lift up girls, bring literacy to the streets, empower every voice where oppression repeats. Diversity, equity, inclusion, we own it. We're changing the world, don't need to postpone it. From Rotary Youth Exchange to the Peace Gallup, our vision rings out like a string of birds tallow. We're not just meeting the meals, we bring solutions. This is the cloud.
Every bit from local to global scale with the will that burn that never fails. District rise, don't you make me shine the light in darkest night. Service projects raise their eyes, changing lives before you have to win the storm and leave it. Don't be the flame. We fight the seas. We fight the seas. We rise with hope. We educate. We don't throw away. I'm about to leave. We serve the just where we
Real quick. Who's that picture of? Excellent. Way to go. Paul Harris. If you all noticed in the video there, the biggest thing that they said were not just meetings and meals. Speaking of meals, y'all had a fantastic spread. That was unbelievable. Thank you all for that. But if you look right there real quick before Lennis gets rid of it, Rotary is to realize we must be evolutionary at times and on occasion revolutionary. Can you imagine that back in the early 1900s? Somebody talking to us today about how we talk about change a little bit. So I got a question in here. I joined Rotary 2007 with a raise of hands. Who has been in Rotary longer than 2007? Raise your hands. Oh my goodness. Maybe I shouldn't have asked that question. Congratulations. That's definitely the biggest I think that I've had. So an important year for me, 2007, I joined the Breakfast Club at Franklin. But here I got a question. 2007 is when I joined. I became a Rotarian 2010. Had anybody with a raise of hands, anybody experienced what I'm thinking about? I joined in 7, probably for selfish reasons, but I became a Rotarian in 2010. So what happened, and this is a story I love to tell. Y'all might, anybody know Shauna Billingsley, who's the city attorney for Franklin? Couple hands. Shauna is a very petite, redhead, fiery person. And she called my office one day, and I've actually had an office here in Maryland Farm. And she said, "Are you where you can be? Can I talk to you?" And I said, "Well, I'm in my office." She goes, "You probably need to go outside because I want to talk to you and I don't want anybody to hear." So I went outside and she looked, she got me on the phone. She said, "Brasher," she says, "you need to get off your ass. You have a lot to offer this club, and you go to the same table, you sit same people, and you come to the meeting and you eat breakfast and then you go to work. You need to get involved. I need your help. I need your help in X, Y, or Z." That happened in 2010. If y'all know Shauna, tell her. She knows I tell the story. Everybody tells her. But she is the one who tapped me on the shoulder, said, you need to get involved. And I always appreciated that. When I talk about change, we don't want to break traditions. We don't want to change our fundraisers, our service events, the golf tournament. We're not talking about changing those things, but maybe things could get tweaked a little bit. Maybe it could be a small change to make something better. So here's story number 2. There's a club close by that does a golf tournament. Larry, you're going to love this. The golf tournament was run by the same guy for years and years. This golf tournament was pretty successful. They netted $100,000. We kind of kept doing it, and everything was about the same. And this guy was feeling pretty good about it. But all of a sudden, a new guy, a younger guy came up to this guy and he said, "You know what? Why don't we try a couple different things? Why don't we maybe change the course? Have you ever heard of a helicopter flying over a golf course? There, here's an idea. And you drop golf balls, and whoever the golf gets closest to the pin wins like $1,000. And he says, how about a putting green that you put bottles of bourbon on it. And if your ball hits it, you win the bourbon." And the guy, the young guy, the other guy was sitting there and he did this. Who are you to tell me how to do a golf tournament? I've been doing this thing for 10 years. And you know what? He got his feelings hurt and got a little red, back here, because this young guy was telling him what to do. Anybody know who that guy was that was running that tournament for all those years? Me. We all got egos, right? I got my feelings hurt. Anybody know Tony Sharp from Renaissance Bank? Anybody here at all? Tony is our current president. He does a tremendous job. It was the best thing that could have happened to our club, to our district, more importantly, to all the people we give back to. We made changes. We switched venues. We went from Legends to West Haven. We changed all of our events. We went from 2 tee times to just 1. But it was an example of change that I like to share with you all, because again, it made sense and it just made everything better. So the challenge to the club is, if you're not growing, you're dying. Who besides me here always sits at the same table in the same seat? Raise your hand. Curry, come on. Curry, I know you're always there. This is the wisdom table, right? This is the table of wisdom. We don't have required attendance, right, Joe? We don't do no required. Same venue. You guys got a beautiful venue here. Y'all know that. Same day and time. Food. It's fantastic. I don't see that very many places I get to go. But who knows where Spring Hill Thompson Station is? Y'all know where it's at. We have a club there. It's 30 years old. And they met on Wednesday morning at 8:30. You know, in Spring Hill, Thompson Station, a lot of young professionals, families, kids, jobs, young professionals. They met Wednesday at 8:30. Could there be a worse time for a young person to meet than that time? So that their attendance, their membership went down. They were almost going to be closed by Rotary International. We got to go to a meeting. Phyllis was part of that. Jerome, some of the past presidents got to go. They changed that meeting to every other Thursday night. So they meet twice a month. And now there are over 20 members, because again, they may change. Their second meeting of the week, or excuse me, of the month, is a service event. They don't meet, they don't have dinner, they don't have lunch. They have their meeting doing a service event somewhere, somehow. Now, was that change? That's big change. Can you imagine the Brentwood Noon Club? Have y'all done that, taken a whole, congratulations. I think you have. I remember that. So tell me, again, I know, is there a difference between fundraisers and service events? Big time. Sometimes I don't get the right answer on that. What can you all tell me real quick, some of your biggest service events that you do to get your hands dirty to help out in the community? Great. Fantastic. Waiver. I might be talking about that. Excellent. What other service events? And are you helping for Christmas? Outstanding. Anybody else? Any other things? Lennox, can we go ahead and put up another great one? So we all have passions. We all have our family. We have our faith. We have our jobs. We have whatever your passion may be. I'm hoping within service, within Rotary, you have a passion within service. And you all have mentioned to me some of your projects. I'm going to challenge you all with a few more pictures in a second to say, you know, what is your passion within service? I'm going to ask you guys again, if you can guess what mine is. I'm going to talk about aha moments. I've had 4 aha moments in Rotary. The first one was Shauna ripping me apart, which was fine. I needed it. I'm not going to tell you about my second one. I've got a third one I'll show you in a minute, but I've had one about 3 weeks ago. Who knows where Dyersburg, Tennessee is? Dyersburg. Woo! I went to breakfast meeting there. They start their meetings at 6:15 in the morning in Dyersburg. That's unbelievable. And the meeting starts at 6:30. So I asked everybody, what's your personal passion? And nobody said anything. It's about 15 people there. And there's a lady sitting at this table right here. Her name is Tona Roberts. And she said, Jeff, I've been so afraid. I've been shy. I didn't want to say it, but I love gardens and I love flowers. You ought to see my office. Everything. She says, I have always wanted to bring up to our club community garden, but I've been afraid to. And all of a sudden, the lady raised her hand. She says, well, we've got 20 acres we used to farm a decade ago, and it's just been sitting there. Another lady said, well, my husband's retired, and we got 3 tractors, and all he does is drive them around in a circle. And I know he would want to do it. And all of a sudden, another person got up, and they're sitting over there in the corner. And Dyersburg, after my visit, Dyersburg, Tennessee, is going to have a community garden to grow vegetables and such to give back to the community. And they've got a goal to have their first batch, maybe late fall. It might be too aggressive, but that was an aha moment for me. That was number 4. That was my latest one, and it just happened. So let's go to our next slide. Y'all remember this? It was on the cover of your Rotary magazine, I think about 6 months ago. 6 months ago. Did y'all just get your other Rotary magazine about 2 or 3 days ago? Everybody got them? Again, very simply, Rotary had recognized a third of our food is wasted. And there was a great article in there. Next, we're going to play. This is number 3 aha moment for Jeff.
Last fall was one of the last distributions we did at Waverly. We were so excited that in the truck that we got flowers. We wanted to make a special effort that day. Instead of loading those flowers into the trunk or into the back seat, we wanted to present them to the individuals. It could have been a man, it didn't matter. And I went up to a car, and the lady looked at me. She said, are you kidding? And I said, no, ma'am, I'd like to present you with these flowers along with all this food. She looked at me with tears. She said, my husband has just passed, and I probably haven't been presented with flowers in over 50 years, and today's my birthday. And she started to tear up. I started to tear up. And I'll leave you with, can it get any better than that?
That was at Waverly. That was at our very last distribution that we did there. And that's what happened to me then. And it'll be something, again, I'll never forget. Next slide. All right. Again, we're going to go through this real quick. I'm watching the clock, everyone. We'll be out in time. 13.5% of households suffer some type of food insecurity. Unbelievable. Next, please. Got some pictures here. What one generation does, we talked about wasted food. 6 out of 7 days every week, one gen away is out on the road rescuing food. You know what rescue means? They're going to the restaurants, they're going to Sam's, they're going to all the different places, and their commitment is to turn that food within 12 hours to a pantry or to those in need. So rescuing food is a big part of what one gen does. And I also like to remind y'all, Laura, next Saturday is the East Hickman County food drive. I'll be there. Franklin Breakfast is going to be there. Franklin Noon Club is going to be there. I would love to get some Brentwood people out to Hickman High School, East Hickman High School, next Saturday, not tomorrow, but next Saturday for a food distribution. So please put that on your calendar. Next, please. There's the actual distribution. Next. Food boxes for those who can't get out and receive food. We take it to them. Put it in boxes, put it in bags. Again, doorstep pantry. Next. We mentioned this earlier. Who remembers what happened in August 6 years ago in Waverly? Look at that. Does anybody know how many lives were lost in Waverly? 21. 21 people lost their lives. I'm so proud of Bob Huffman, our past district governor, who came to me and said, Brasher, I think because of all the contributions this club does to the foundation, I think I can get us a disaster grant to the tune of $30,000. And with additional $10,000 that our district gave, we made a commitment in District 6760 to give food one Saturday a month to the people of Waverly. 2 years. 2 years. Raise a hand. Who came to Waverly at one time or another? Outstanding. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. We got another example. Next slide. Back one. Daryl Elshot, our past district governor with the cowboy hat. A big thank you to the Franklin Noon Club, who I spoke to yesterday. They seeded a $50,000 grant. We totaled $150,000. Who remembers Hurricane Helene that got into the Carolinas, got into East Tennessee? Horrible, horrible disaster. Y'all got to remember, this is not our district. This is 2 districts over where there was a need. Johnson City, Newport, those areas in East Tennessee. Again, this district, due to the foundation, made a commitment to feed those people for 2 years, and it's coming at the end of it's coming this December. There is a dinner I'm not going to get into. We're trying to figure out a way to continue to feed those in East Tennessee, and I'll have an update on that hopefully soon. Next, please. Here's some great pictures. That's actually Waverly on the right-hand side. There's the Family Dollar in the background. The next picture is one of my favorites. Look at that young man smile. Look at that smile, knowing that he's got enough food now to maybe last for a week. And that's every bit of that is Waverly, Tennessee. Next, we know where we're at with polio. As of the latest, I know there are 2 cases in Afghanistan and Pakistan at 2. That number just can't get to 0. It doesn't look like, but the need for polio continues. Next. That's Columbia, Tennessee. That's Daryl Elshai in the truck presenting a check to Chris to help those in East Tennessee. You'll see a couple work shirts there. I believe that's the Franklin Breakfast Club. That's Cliff Wilson, who's our past president, John Fortune, who's our president-elect. We had a big, successful distribution in Columbia that day. Next. So here's the magic. That's to get involved. So I've gone around today and I've touched a lot of shoulders. My wife told me a lot of people are uncomfortable with that. And I don't want to make y'all uncomfortable. I've already touched all you. I don't have to do that. But I charge the club about change, good change. I'd like to charge each individual Rotarian in the room today to get, I think there's a button. Oh, wait a minute. You stand up, your name again? Matt. Matt, that button says Goyra. And that means Goyra, get your assets. I meant to say assets. But my charge is to get out, to get involved, get your hands dirty. You all are an incredible club. You talk about it, we have to write checks, right? We have to write checks, and we do that. And we need to continue to do that. And you guys are an incredible club as givers. I think there's an opportunity for service events. I know Laura and Jennifer are committed to doing more outside the four walls of this meeting. And I would encourage you very much to get involved in your service projects. That's all I've got. We got maybe 1 minute or two. Is there anything on a district level or anything that I could help with or answer for anybody in the room? Yes, sir. Without question, Phyllis. All I can say is where did I decide to bring my second family? That's your answer, the Brentwood Noon Club. Well, don't you say anything. All right, anything else for anybody on the district level? I'm so proud of your all's club. I've been here 5 or 6 times in the last 2 or 3 months. I will be back. If you need anything from me, please don't hesitate to ask. That's me handing out the boxes. I thank you so much for this opportunity today. Thank you.
All right. I want to thank again, everyone. It's truly an honor to have all of you out here today. I usually call everybody by name, but gosh, there's a lot of y'all. People are going to start leaving, but I look forward to seeing you all tonight and spending the day with you tomorrow. I think 3 of us, Jennifer Shepard and Bob Thompson, we'll be there tonight and tomorrow. So I look forward to that. For everybody else, we are right back here next week to welcome Commissioner Lizette Reynolds and Deputy Commissioner Sam Piercy from the Tennessee Department of Education to talk about the Freedom Scholarship Program. So be sure to join us. And is there any other business for the good of Rotary? Yeah. Leave the tables, chairs and stacks of 8. No.
Just leave it.
Oh, leave everything today. Okay. Leave everything today. That's the official word. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If Jeff would like the board to please stay for about 5 minutes. We can just meet up here or out in the sofas. He just wants a quick meeting. Thank you for coming.